Aloha, everybody, and welcome to the Dropping Gems podcast. I am Nina, the host, aka the messenger, and I'm so excited that you all are joining us today. Today, we're gonna just discuss just healing and self care and self love and what that means and what that looks like, and how we can just go through that journey of healing, whether it's trauma, whether it's emotionally and physically as well too. So I'm excited to have you guys tune in today. And my guest today is an amazing, just beautiful spirit. She's an amazing woman. She's a friend. She's like a big sister. And she really has been there to kind of help usher me along the way when it comes to self-care, when it comes to healing mentally, emotionally, and physically as well too. She is just full of energy and always has a very welcoming smile. And she's very compassionate and has a big heart, and wants to give back to others. She is originally from North Carolina, and she went to school and she pursued a couple different degrees. And then there was just more of a calling for her to do something differently. And she answered that call and stepped into it. And now she is a licensed massage therapist, a masseuse, a connector, a healer. And that's what she does. Um, and it's really just something that she's passionate about, and you can just sense it, you can feel it. And so without further ado, I'd like to just welcome Nichole Vicks to the show. I'm grateful that you are here, sis, and I'm excited to talk with you today. So if you could, for us, if you could just tell us who you are and what it is that you do in your own words.
Hey, Nina, thank you for having me. Well, I said, hey, everybody, I'm Nichole. Yes, I am originally from North Carolina. I actually came here many years ago, 95, fresh out of high school. I went to HPU. I actually came out here originally for marine biology, but that was not my niche. That was my niche in high school for like 2, 3 years prior to coming out to Hawaii. And then I switched to corporate communications, and then my mom had passed away, and then I took a year off to get myself together, came back and actually discovered law. So I actually got my bachelor's in justice administration. So actually law became my passion, um, and my niche in life. Many years later, about 12 years later, I discovered paralegal studies. I'd actually worked with the AmeriCorps program with Volunteer Legal Service Hawaii with domestic violence victims. I was drafting and processing temporary restraining orders. So I became inspired by the director of that program and my mentor and attorney at that time, um, to, to go a little bit deeper into the legal work. So I ended up pursuing my degree in paralegal studies and became a paralegal, I guess you would say, non-practicing, and a legal secretary. Um, at, at the time, and still currently, I'm working for the state of Hawaii. I work with troubled youth at the detention facility here in Kapolei. At the time, I was working long hours, and the area of law that I wanted to practice was litigation. And I was like, uh, nah, that's not for me. I don't want to work any more long hours. I'm good. So I said, well, you know what? I get massages from the school I ended up attending, which is Hawaii Massage Academy. I was like, you know what? Let me try my hand at that because it's still helping people, and that's my commonality within everything that I do. And I ended up just loving it, and I was like, wow, okay, cool. So I ended up going through that program, graduating, getting licensed, and then I delved more deeper work into it and started taking advanced classes. Well, while I was in school, uh, with my paralegal studies, November 2013, my brother unexpectedly passed away. So that was pretty much the last of my family. I lost my dad at 13. I lost my mom over here in Hawaii 23, 10 years later. I lost my brother unexpectedly 12 years after my mom. So I'm pretty much the last. There's no more family. All of my family pretty much passed away when I was a child, or I never had an opportunity to meet them. So I discovered Reiki. So Reiki and massage and just the principles and the techniques that I learned throughout massage therapy, it saved my life. And when I say it saved my life, coming from somebody that has been suicidal, not once, but twice in my life, first with my mom, and then again with my brother, I definitely felt lost, a loss of not just a loss of life, but like at a loss, like what do I do? It's like I have this gift, but didn't realize I had this gift. So the school I was attending at the time offered advanced courses. So the first course I took was Reiki. So Reiki actually helped me learn how to heal myself from within. It was almost like therapy. Um, if anybody knows anything about, say, like chakras, which is like your inner energy wheels, that in order for you to function, pretty much, they have to stay in balance. So when they're off of balance, you have to put them back on track. So it's like if your clock stops on the wall and you gotta put a battery in it, so you have to recharge them. And once I discovered Reiki and got into energy work, it's like my whole world just did like a 360, because I just felt like nobody could help me. I definitely didn't have a strong sense of spirituality until I discovered massage and energy work, and then start delving deeper into other advanced classes. The emotional healing that I underwent was just amazing. It was like taking breaks in life to kind of step back from what you're experiencing and the trials and tribulations and the adversities that we undergo. Is always something deeper, not just with a person that can help you, but just spirituality plays a big part in our healing. And coming from someone that I just recently embraced, that I've been dealing with depression since my mom passed away in, I believe, in 2000. And yeah, breaks weren't working for me. I had to just go real deep within myself and take a sabbatical and just step away from the world and step away from people and just really dig deep as to where all this trauma laid, and all the fear that I was experiencing, trust issues, and let me tell you, it's been a painful journey. It's been a lot of tears. It's been a lot of anger, a lot of self-discovery, a lot of vulnerability, um, uh, a lot of meditation. I'll tell you that much. A lot of just taking a step back from the world and just focusing on myself and what I need for myself, mentally and physically. And that is one main thing that I try, or I do convey to my clients, or as I like to call them, my canvases, is the creation of a safe place to allow you to combine your mind and your body and just be one with yourself. I've noticed that a lot of people, especially now during this time of COVID, have been experiencing a lot of like mental health issues, or a lot of anxiety, depression, and in addition to the physical aspects of the muscle tension. It's hard to relax. The tension, and it's like it all plays a part. And when my clients come to me, I create that space and that ambiance that of safety and trust, and that is okay to release whatever traumas that you have, or maybe traumas you didn't even know that you had that was suppressed. Because I know for me, digging deep, I had to go back to like childhood, and it was like some things become triggers, or things that we suppress in the back of our mind that we don't want to deal with, or that we've dealt with but didn't know how. It will surface doing massage, because it is an exchange of energy. I always do my meditations before I have my massage sessions, because I want to fully be present with my canvases, and I want to guide them and be the pathway to them for healing and releasing that trauma, or just to relax and feel rejuvenated. Because I know that whatever I practice through my own rituals, in massage therapy and just in my personal life. I want to convey that and to share that with the candidates that come to me for my sessions.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Well, you definitely shared quite a bit there. So I just kind of want to go back and have you break down some of those areas and
Mhm,
discuss it more so that we can have a better understanding of exactly what that means and how that translates into each individual person in our own
mhm,
personal lives. So one of the things that stood out is that you had mentioned that you didn't really have a strong spiritual muscle. You didn't really have a strong spiritual life or spirituality or connection with that. And you said that you actually began to explore that and discover that when you learned about more energy work, when you learned about Reiki, when you learned about healing and aligning your chakras, etc. Now, one of the things that I hear a lot when it comes to people that are more structured, when it
mhm,
comes to religion or their spirituality, once you start talking about things like Reiki and energy work and things of that nature, it seems like there is a deterrent, like they're really reserved or resistant to that type of energy because in their mind, it's like, God is the healer. I just need Jesus. I don't want to explore into those other things of the world. And, you start talking about crystals or chakras, and it seems like it's so out there energetically as like, woo woo or what are we tapping into? I don't know these energies or what energies might come if they're
mhm,
negative or what I mean? Like when it comes to some things like that, I have explored. There was even people who considered themselves to be spiritual that,
mhm,
didn't even want to practice like meditation or
mhm,
yoga or things of that nature because they feel as though it's just something they could just take to the cross or whatever they choose as far as their religion, take it to God, take it to their gods, etc., without doing the work, the self work.
mhm.
So I was just wondering for you, how did exploring those things actually bring you closer to the creator, to bring you closer to God, to bring you closer and have awareness of spirituality?
Well, for me, I was raised in the church.
Uh-huh.
So there's always been that foundation of church or spirituality. But for me, it's I've always kind of yearned something deeper. We don't have to be in an establishment or be in a foundation per se to worship the God that we believe in. The universe is all around us. Um, I feel that we all come from a place of love. If you believe in any type of God or whoever that you believe in, or even if you don't, we got to come from somewhere. Um, so for me, it's like the spirituality, God, the universe is always around me. I've never felt that I had to be in an establishment of any sort, especially in a church, to pray to my God or to pray to the universe because my faith has always been there. Um, it's especially just to touching on that on a deeper level, God and my faith, the universe saved me from killing myself. And I wasn't in nobody's church. I wasn't going to anybody's church. I can wake up every day and pray. I'm very blessed to wake up. If I don't wake up, something wrong. That means God's not done with me. So my spirituality in that sense just runs way more deeper because I know that there is a force, there is a deeper level of love that surrounds me because I'm a child of God and I come from a place of love. Um, my when my brother was born, just to go a little bit deeper, a little bit background on that, my brother almost killed my mom. She had to have a blood transfusion. She was like literally on her deathbed. So my mom was like, my dad was like, we're not having no more kids because the first one almost did you in. So actually about 3-4 months in is when it discovered that she was pregnant with me. So uh, I know that I come from a place of love. My mom and dad in the universe had that conversation, and God had other plans for my mom. So I'm a miracle, and I'm here, and God bestowed upon me a gift to share with the world. Um, and just getting into the principles of Reiki, just like people who don't really understand it or kind of stand up from. I was too. I wasn't a believer. I wasn't a believer in massage school, and everything that they were teaching us, I was like, man, this is not going to work. And then I start believing and start actually getting massaged on some different techniques. Like what I use a lot is and not only just Swedish foundational, but the Lomi Lomi, which as most people know is is a Hawaiian style of massage. It's very spiritual. You're taking in the negative from people and you're blowing it away. So and then the Reiki, energy work, I always incorporate that into my massages because I want to take whatever pain that people are experiencing, whatever stress, whatever tension, anxiety, whatever that they're feeling, or any feelings of unease. I want to take that. So we're a vessel. Healers are the pathway to healing and to help people along their journey of healing or whatever goals they want to achieve, whether it's spirituality, healing, they have certain ailments they want to deal with. And the energy work definitely changed my perspective and deepened my my yearning to want to learn more about what is this higher power that what is this that we can heal ourselves as well as other people. Show me how, because I'm not believing it. And once I got into that, it was like it was an eye-opener because now I started to sit with myself and and just start, how people say just woosah, and it's like kind of take it in and breathe it out. Like literally, like that works. Like when you can just sit and be at peace and just get within yourself and your body. And then on top of that, setting your intentions of what you want out of that session with yourself or with the people that you choose to heal. It's definitely powerful work. It's definitely powerful.
That's awesome. Yeah. For us to be healers, for us to kind of take that on, it generally comes from a place of us experiencing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they say,
Yeah.
your test becomes your testimony, your mess becomes your message. And when
Mm-hmm.
you come from a place of love, and then through life's experiences, you experience trauma and loss and hurt and all of those
Mm-hmm.
things, it does not negate, or void out the fact that we all come from love. However, a lot of times it affects it, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
now we have to navigate life differently based off of the experiences of what we
Mm-hmm.
thought we knew, to say, oh, wow, maybe life isn't what I thought it was. Or, when a catalyst happens, or there's, something that gets thrown in the, like they say, a monkey wrench, then at that point in time, it's an opportunity for us to make the adjustments. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes that pain or that loss or that hurt is deep, and it really begins to make us doubt or second guess who we are, what we are created for, what our purpose is.
Mm-hmm.
So to hear that you can acknowledge that you came from love, and then along the way through life's experiences, things happen. You experience deep losses and
Mm-hmm.
hurt and all of those things. What do you think that it was, other than a higher power, other than God, looking out for you, of course, but what was it? Was there anything as far as a catalyst, or anything you told yourself, or anything that just shifted the paradigm for you to no longer want to suppress those things, to really go after your own healing? Like, to go through the depression and all of those things. Was there anything that comes to mind that kind of made you want to take on the healing, and say that I am going to go after this self-care, I'm going to um not be a product of my environment, I guess, or the circumstances or things that has happened to me?
Mm-hmm. Um, I believe that it really started shifting in regards to my change, my evolution is when I took public speaking with Women Speak. Matter of fact, that's where we met. And the principles of that was not only empowerment of self, but to have your voice heard, to trust the process, don't always believe what you think, and shifting perspectives. So, like you touched on, whatever what you thought it was really isn't. And it's okay to be open to learning a better way on how to live your life. Don't just live your best life. That's like a cliche. I've been into cliches lately and trying to debunk them and showing people better ways. Um, I want to live my greatest life, you know.
Mm.
And Women Speak and the women that I met totally helped me be vulnerable and to not be afraid to trust my gut, because women are very powerful. We have very powerful intuition. And I notice, like, when we go against our gut feelings, our intuitions, especially me per se, uh things don't go the way they're supposed to, because it wasn't in that plan. We went against the blueprint. It's like we forcefully changed what the universe placed before us, and we're supposed to follow that plan, because the universe ain't going to be wrong. But the universe is not going to steer you wrong. The universe is going to guide you where you need to go, whether it's through an obstacle, a challenge, you got to jump over it, you got to crawl through it, or you got to go through it full force. Woman Speak was a very important and monumental program and point in my life for 16 months that helped me grow tremendously as a woman, in addition to other amazing people that I've met since that. About, like, this has been like a couple of years now. And I learned to trust the process. I learned to be open with whatever that was placed before me, and to take accountability for my life and what I wanted to do with it, because I'm in control of it. Of my own destiny and my own journey. After all, it's my own journey. Like, I can't tell you what to do with your life and your journey. I can only support you and assist you along your pathway of where you're trying to go. Like, if you want to go left, or you want to go right, or you want to go straight forward without even really knowing what's before you, that's your own journey. That's where the universe is guiding you. Openness played a big part. I had to be open. I had to be open to accepting and receiving whatever the universe placed before me and in my lap. Um, I had to realize what I was going through. I had to accept it, and then I had to go through some type of action plan. I had to implement. I had to come up with solutions, and that has been something that I've been pretty much living out for like the past 2-3 years now. Is that I'm realizing a lot about myself, and it's scary, but it's a part of that self work. You have to want to do the work. You have to be open, and if you're not open to it, all is what's going to happen is that things is going to keep piling up. Hence why we say, oh, you know what, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, or I want to take a break from the world. I just want to take a break and just do me and be off of my own, be isolated, or just be within myself. But with breaks, you're just taking a break, because when you come off of that break, you still have the same issues that you have to deal with, but you really didn't deal with them. You just put them off to the side, and you just did other things to distract you from the real work. So that's why it's like a sabbatical. I always thought when people went on sabbaticals, they had to go off to like another country, another spiritual place, and just get away from what they were with. But you know, with just kind of sitting back and like taking a breath, I was like, a sabbatical is right here. A sabbatical is right here within you. A sabbatical is what you make it, you know. So I just really just made myself kind of just sit back and be like, damn, what else can I do to actually put in this work? What is distracting me? What is all this fear and this self-sabotage and self-doubt coming from? And then I looked at all my other spiritual advisors and other close friends that I go to get massage sessions from. One in particular does Lomi Lomi, and then I discovered one of my other friends that does crystal healing. And it's like, okay, whatever path that I'm on, trust it. I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm exactly right where I need to be. And once I decided to become vulnerable with myself and to just let a whole lot of stuff go and to just come up with my own set of blueprints and my own set of goals, it totally just increased the results, because I stopped listening to all these other different people that tell me, oh, you should do it this way, that way, and that way. But it's like, that might work for you, but it's not working for me, you know. And then I realized that in the midst of your own um, journey and your own self-work, it's okay to veer off from what other people think or believe and do what's best for you, because what's best for you is exactly that, is what's best for you. You can go to all these different schools of thought and go through all these different gurus and learn all these techniques, but if you're not applying what you resonate with to help you, it's just a whole bunch of confusion. You have to find your own way. You have to be open to, hey, you know what, this ain't working, I'm gonna try this right here. And that's ultimately what has been helping me. And the most important thing that I must stress is that you're gonna lose some people on the way. Oh, you're gonna lose some people and you're gonna piss some people off when it comes to you doing your own self work and your own journey of healing. And a lot of people aren't confident with that. And I just got tired of the same old, same old. I got tired of people pleasing. I got tired of helping people that didn't reciprocate that. And I've noticed that a lot of people, they come in with intentions, but their intentions aren't true. And then they smile in your face and they're there and they have your back, so to speak. They really don't. I call it fake genuine. They come into your life to be there for whatever reason that they're there, but their intentions are not true. And they bring mediocre energy and they bring distracting energy. And you have to be strong enough to pinpoint that out and to let that go. That's part of letting go. So, I meditated a lot on strength and power and courage and abundance. So my abundance has already been there. Abundance is all around me, whether it's with love or finances or comfortability or whatnot. But what I had to really pray on and set my intentions for was I had the courage. I had to have the courage to move forward in my life and do what's best for me. And I had to set my intentions on power, taking the power back in my life and not people pleasing and do what everybody wanted me to do. And the strength to actually do all of this and to really dig deep into myself and have the strength to be like, okay, now Nichole, we about to go deep, girl. We about to go come out of deep. And you might not like what you find out. And let me tell you, I have not liked what I found about myself. There's been a lot of days that I've cried or whatever, but I'm glad that I set that those intentions for me and found a way to kind of get that up out of me, because it has helped me evolve into the woman that I am today.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So I know you talk about empowerment, you talk about finding the strength and, tap into what you have that's there. Now, when I think sometimes like, it's been asked of people, like, what do you think that your superpower is, right?
Yeah.
It also kind of seems though, for a lot of us, our superpower also can be like our kryptonite at the same time, right?
Yeah,
so like
double-headed sword.
so like the thing that is really our gifting and that we're so powerful with, and when we step into that, it makes us vulnerable, right? When you take on yourself, when you take on that authenticity, the next step of being courageous and everything like that all kind of simultaneously take place while you're being vulnerable. And I think that when we think of vulnerability, we think of being open or exposed or vulnerable, fragile in a way.
Or even
however, weak. Or even weak when you think of that word vulnerable. But however, vulnerability is actually an empowerment of strength and courage, because you have to be brave and courageous in order to be vulnerable. Right. So when I think about that, when people think about their strengths or their gifts or their superpowers, it's kind of like, two different sides of the same coin that sometimes can be our weakness, that sometimes can be
Exactly.
our kryptonite, more or less.
Mhm.
So how would you say, how would you say that you find balance within that, to be able to use your superpower, but then at the same time not allow it to be your kryptonite?
Let's see. In order to find my balance, I do a lot of meditating. Meditating for me, it regrounds me. It provides me with clarity, and it provides me with answers, and of course, it provides me with that balance. Um, yeah, you have to have that balance for. It's to each their own. You have to find what will help you balance all that out, and hard truths and realization and setting intentions, and speaking what I want out to the universe. Or even if I think it, I'm very conscious as to what I think, and to what I say, because words have power. Even if we don't verbally put it out there into the universe, we think it, the universe hears it. So I always, if I'm feeling a certain way, or my energy off, and I'm thinking negatively, or I can't, or I won't, or I don't want to do this, I quickly try to change that mentality. It starts with your mentality. If you continuously or constantly tell yourself that you can't do something, or you won't, or you cannot, or you will not, you're going to start believing that. We're already are conditioned, but if you condition yourself, or further condition your mentality to think a certain way, you're ultimately holding yourself back. So you have to shift your mentality and how you think. You have to realize what's not working in your life, and what forces or people are holding you back, and you have to be strong to let that go, because that's going to open up the pathway for you to have to find that balance, and to want to find that balance. Some people work out, some people read, some people talk to friends, some people seek out therapeutic services, some people meditate or go through massage. It's all in what you feel that's comfortable for you, to help you find that balance. For me, it's definitely meditation, and a lot of breathing, a lot of breath work through my meditation. Like I change how the way I breathe. Like, how we breathe through our chest, you breathe through your stomach. It's because that your breathing is deeper. It aids in your intention setting, and your meditative practicing. Um, and that for me has been working. Just the way I walk now, the way I talk, just from shifting, just all in the way of how I breathe, how long I hold my breath and I exhale. And I noticed that has changed, even in my exchange of energy with my clients, with breathing, how to calm them down. Because of what I do is a lot of nonverbal. It entails a lot of trust, and safety, and vulnerability. Touch is very vulnerable. So I had to find ways, again, like you said, through experience, how can I portray that to my canvases, to have them go deeper within themselves, without making them feel that if they find themselves being vulnerable on my table, to hold that back. But
Mm.
finding other ways to convey to them that, what, even if it is a touch, or it's okay to let go. And you know what, I feel you're tensing up. Let's go ahead and work on that. Let's go ahead and take a couple deep breaths. Um, for each person is different. You gotta find that balance within yourself first. Shift your mentality and how you think, in order for you to portray that and push it out to the world.
Mm, mm. Yeah, that's really powerful. I mean, even just creating that space and holding that space to allow someone else, or empower someone else to show up and to feel empowered to be vulnerable,
Mm-hmm.
is really big. I mean, I know in a lot of settings nowadays, or groups or community type things, you hear a lot of like, we want a safe space, or we want to create a
Mm-hmm.
safe space, or a safe environment. And that's really creating that space, allowing people to usher in, a place of being there and showing up as their authentic selves, showing up in a
Mm-hmm.
place of vulnerability. because it's one thing to be introspective, like when you're, by yourself meditating, or if you have high highs or low lows,
Mhm.
sometimes, a lot of times, we as people tend to isolate or withdraw, maybe
Yeah.
because we are sensitive to other people's energies, maybe because we don't want to feel as though we're a burden, so what we're going through, we don't want to project that on someone else, or
Or we
sometimes
don't
we
know how
just
to deal
feel,
with it.
yeah, we don't know how to deal with it, or we feel it's easier to navigate it if I just do me, if I just, isolate
Exactly.
myself and alone. So being
Mhm.
able to have spaces in which you can connect on that level with love and trust, and ultimately, intimacy, whether
Mhm.
it's physical or non-physical, with someone else that you trust and that you feel safe and comfortable with, is very important. And I think that
Mhm.
that's why, when you brought up earlier about a lot of mental um, things that people are working through during this pandemic, it has been because there's been such a isolation type
Mhm.
of theory provided to us, right? That it's a way for
Mhm.
you to stay safer the less people that you're around. Which, I
Mhm.
mean, in overall, yes, if you're exposed to a lot more people, if people aren't taking safety measures, it will put you more at risk.
Mhm.
However, I think there's also a level that maybe just each individual person have taken on, as far as their fear tolerance or their risk
Mm.
tolerance, to say, you know what I mean? Like, people have stopped even seeing their family, friends, and loved ones, and I get that we
Yeah.
want to protect them, but there's also a layer of fear that is there,
Yeah.
and there's people that, not the ones that are just running around irresponsible with no mask or partying, etc. But sometimes when I talk to people, there's like this thin line of where there's like a fear, and then there's this thin line in which there's like this confidence of saying, you know what, I don't want to, get COVID, I don't want to be exposed to it, however, I'm not going to hide or live in a cave or live in a bubble or not live and experience life through this out of so
Mhm.
much fear of what could happen. Or people say, like you said, it's the mindset. Where's your mind at? What are you thinking? And I've heard people say, you know what, it's not something I want to catch. However, I believe that if it was something
Mhm.
that I did catch, that I would be able to beat it, that I would, take care of myself, do the things that I need to do. I'm resilient enough that this would not be something that would necessarily take me out. So I
Mhm.
guess where I'm going with that is just kind of like a mindset, is so
Mhm.
important, of how we see ourselves and how we see the things around us.
Mhm.
And that isolation is not always best. So I know there was a couple of times in which you said you just kind of took a step back and needed to focus on you, etc. During that time when you were doing introspection, because that is needed for us to sit with ourselves, right,
Mhm.
and search our soul even deeper, how did you still remain connected, or did you, separate and become distant? Were there just a handful of, or very specific people that you stayed connected to in order to kind of, keep that anchor or keep that connection? Or do you find that um if it's just a temporary season, that you just completely go introspective, and because you were saying, like, I took a step
Mhm.
back, but what does that look like, so that we don't find ourselves isolated deeper in a hole of depression, but that we
Mhm.
can still take time for ourselves and still keep the connections that we need to, even feed us, or you know um breathe into us or speak into our lives during those times.
Mhm. For me, taking a step back was, I decided to take a step back from any and all things, people or things that were doing me no justice, and that held no purpose in my life, that they were
Okay.
not in alignment with what I was trying to do, what I was trying to be, and where I was trying to go. And in my journey, I was wanting to focus on um, my own self healing, my self worth, confidence, um, uh, my own. Let's see, how should I say, my be as a woman, my femininity, tapping into that, my own divine self, and even sexuality. And in order to do that, you can't do that with people who aren't in alignment with that. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's just not going to happen. I definitely had to let go of a lot of energies that just serve me no purpose. And even true to this day, if you're not in alignment with me, then why are you in my life? Because the way I see it, if we don't want to sit here and politic, and we don't want to get deep, because getting deep is just, oh, I want to have fun, and okay, we can have fun, but at the end of the day, where's your head at? Where's your mentality at? Because if we're not linking up or syncing up, or we're not on the same page, all you're doing is taking up my oxygen. You're taking up space from somebody else who wants to put in the work. So what you need to do is move out of my way and make room for somebody that's in alignment with what I'm trying to do. So if you're not in alignment with me, trying to make a change, trying to evolve, trying to be a better person overall, then why are you here? And if you don't know the answer to those questions, you need to ask yourself that. Like, I've noticed that people don't really understand the depth of friendships or relationships, or even the bare one-on-one dynamics of it, but they're questioning your friendship. But it's like, wait a minute, how are you questioning our friendship, or what relationship, or what intimacy, in whatever aspect that we share? But you need to be asking yourself is, what is your definition of friendship? Because there's so many levels of friendship, there's so many levels of relationships. And what I found in the past, like 4 years, is that relationships and friendships are whatever you want to make them. There's alternative lifestyles out there. There's alternative friendships and relationships, and it's whatever you make it. I believe that society places such stress on what should be and what shouldn't. And although society stresses that you should be an individual, it actually kind of condones you being an individual, and that's not fair. How are you sitting telling me that, oh, you can be yourself, you can, do whatever you want. But then when I go out and be whoever I want, whether it's rambunctious or introverted, extroverted, or I like a particular person, male or female, whatever. But then when I do that and I express myself, you condone it. So how does that encourage growth and empowerment and upliftment when society brainwashes us and conditions us? And what that leads to is us further brainwashing ourselves and holding ourselves back. And almost it creates a level of, I'm just going to settle. Why should I settle? Why should I settle from eating a piece of chicken when I know I want steak? I want filet mignon. I don't want no piece of chicken. I want grade A beef. Why should I settle when I know that that's my heart's desires? That's what I want, and that's what I got a taste for. So why should I not go after what I want? Why? And a lot of people don't know how to process that. They don't know how to voice that. They don't know how to communicate that because of the fear of what other people will say about them, the judgment. If you don't fit into the status quo or the trend of what's going on, then you're automatically seen as like taboo. So how does that help us grow or empower? Or in this aspect, how does that encourage us for a sense of community, to reach out to our fellow brothers or sisters, or just humanity as a whole, and to help each other? If we're too afraid to be ourselves and to take that leap of faith, you got to do the work first. You got to do the self work first before you even think about stepping out into to the community and trying to do some work within the community. Because it's like, if you're not authentic and true to yourself, how are you going to show up authentic and true to the people that you're trying to connect with and to share your space with, if you're not even true to yourself?
Yeah.
It all starts with yourself.
Yeah. So just taking it a couple back to the train of thought that we were on, I think what I was hearing you say was that a lot of times the social constructs, the societal beliefs and things of that nature applies pressure. Now, I believe you were saying that, were you saying that they condone or they condemn? I just wanted to get clarity of, like, when you were saying, like, if I say that I want to love freely and I want to be extrovert, introvert, I'm showing up as my authentic self and I express that to you or to them, and then they come back with judgment or are you saying that they condone it or that they condemn it?
Oh, I might use the wrong word.
I know that
Yeah,
sometimes words with how we think that they are can also mean other things, you know
yeah,
what I mean? And
exactly.
you're
Yeah,
very articulate and you're very educated. So I just wanted to just get clarity for myself because I just process and I'm a words person. So I was just wondering, like,
yeah.
because that could be a variation of condoning, right? When you condone
Mm,
something, it's like it's multifaceted. It's like you're okay with
yeah.
it, but you're just kind of settling because you use the word settling. Or I was
Mm,
saying like, or was it like condemn from the judgmental? Because it could be both. It could be condone and condemn based
I think
off of
it probably could be like
people's.
a little bit of both. I think that
Yeah.
that we kind of like we look, I would say they we just look down upon anything that is not seen like righteous or in accordance to what society wants us to do.
Yeah.
It's
Social
like
constructs
anything,
are huge.
yeah, anything that is seen as the norm, and when we go outside of that, it's like it's seen as like taboo.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like
And yep. It's
it's
true
yeah,
because
we are judged. Like, well, why are you doing this? This is not how it's supposed to be. It's like,
it's
no, you're
true.
not supposed to be free and loving. You're not supposed to love who you want to. You're not supposed to feel. You're not supposed to have a bad day. It's
Mm-hmm.
like when I ask you, hey, Nina, how you doing? Oh, I'm okay. But deep down
Mm-hmm.
inside, you're feeling like crap. It's okay that if you ask me if I'm not okay, this as a live example for me to say, you know what, I'm not doing good today. But how we're conditioned to believe is that every time that somebody asks us okay, we're supposed to say, I'm fine, oh, I'm doing great, but we're really feeling something on a deeper. I'm not really feeling okay. I'm not really having a good day. But we on the receiving end, we don't want to deal with that. It's like
Mm.
your problem is your problem. I kind of don't want to hear about your problems because I'm having my own. And it's like
Right.
we have to get away from that and make people feel comfortable voicing how they feel, because anything outside of not voicing exactly how you feel and what you want, it's just fake. It's not helping nobody. It's like you're doing more hurt than help.
Mm.
um and going back to like the fear, yeah, especially during this pandemic, it's like with the news and social media and the government and just everything, it's like it has placed a lot of added fear onto us, where it's pushed us into isolation. It's pushed us into being mental or experiencing mental health issues. It has pushed us into isolation and not want to reach out. And oh, if I do this, I'm gonna catch COVID. If I do this, I'm gonna put my family at risk. If I do this, it's always, it's like a negative connotation that comes from that. And we have to get away from that mentality of thinking that if I open up to somebody and tell them how I really feel and I'm coming to you for help, that burden that comes with it. We have to kind of get away from that, because when I say, how is that community when I can't even call on someone in that field that I know that's going to help me, or even like call a friend and stressing them, hey, this is how I'm feeling today, like I'm reaching out to you because I need that added help. We have to kind of get away from that mentality of like, if I open up and be vulnerable or tell somebody, hey, I'm having some real problems, like dealing with whatever I'm dealing with, like I need some help. And that feeling of shame and guilt is what I'm trying to get at. I'm trying to think about what am I trying to go for. That the feelings of burden, like you said, shame and guilt. We don't want to let people know how we really, really feel, because we don't want that judgment, and we got to get away from that.
Mm, mm. And that's why it's important, like you said, to have that safe space, to have a space
Yeah,
in which we can really open up and feel vulnerable. And maybe that is only with one other person. Like you said, maybe that is with your therapist, maybe that is with your significant other,
yeah,
or, a parent or something. Like there has to be an outlet. Yes,
yeah.
introspection is great. Um, However, it's good to have more or less what I consider a sounding board, and not just
Mm,
someone that's going to be just like a yes person, or that's going to pacify you, or someone that always wants to, point out what it is that you're not doing. No, I mean someone that is genuinely,
actively listen to
authentically,
you.
yeah,
Active
like
listening.
actively listening to you,
Yeah.
to be with you, to say, okay, are we working on problem solving? Do you want me to give you feedback for solutions? Do you want me to just be there to support you and listen to you so that you can get it out and off your chest? Because a lot of times it's thought provoking for ourselves. You know, oftentimes in conversations, we're talking to somebody else and it's like, you drop a gem for yourself. Like, oh, I just told that person that for them, but like, how am I applying that in my own life? You know
Exactly.
what I mean?
Self-realization. I've had like what's
Yeah,
called
like,
aha moments like so much. And it's like to touch on that, it's like did I just push everybody away? Yep, I sure did. And I just focus on just my Hanai mom out here and my best friend. They've known me for like, oh man, almost like 30 years. And then I have my brother's first wife, and she's known me since I was 16. Those people have definitely been my lifeline. No matter who I've been with, no matter where I've went, those three people are more so my best friend, because we've been through a lot of losses together, a lot of trials and tribulations, even recently. That he is definitely someone like you just described, someone who was just going to just sit and listen, no judgment. Like, look, is this like a venting session, or do you want some feedback or opinion? But it's like we're just almost like identical twins. It's like you're number one. The people who are like your true friends, they know. Like if me and you are talking and we're happy, and then one day you call me and it's like, damn, Nichole, we usually like upbeat, like how you introduce me. It's like, oh, something's off. Or if you come to me for a session, oh, Nichole, your energy's kind of off. Like, what's going on? You know, it's like, you know, it's like your true truths. They really know. So you got to have, like you said, that outlet. Not just maybe a person, but if you have that person that you can confide in, that makes it even more awesome, because it's like they're gonna not so much as validate you, but they're gonna feel like, girl, you really are not going crazy. Because I feel like I was going crazy a lot of times. It's like you need that outlet. Sometimes you just need to just vent and just talk. You know.
Yeah. Okay, so you know, because you do something that's personal, right? You do massage therapy and you really do it from a place of connecting in energy. It's not just, you know, let me just scroll through the yellow pages or Yelp, you know what I mean? Because we don't, I think they still do send out phone books. However, nobody really uses them. However, I'm just saying, like, yeah, I'm just saying, like, yellow pages as far as like,
okay,
you know,
everybody's like
Googling
Googling now,
right? Yeah, right.
Yeah, we're reaching out to our friends now,
It's not just something that you're just gonna, you know, go through and be like, okay, I'm gonna, you know, pick that person, or I'm gonna go there for massage. I mean, there is that, you know, maybe you see a good Groupon, or you just kind of want to start to begin to take on self-care. So maybe you'll look up a Groupon, go get a massage for someone, meet them for the first time, you know, however level of comfortability you have, and do that. I have done that before when I was first getting, you know, acclimated to the self-care and like, okay, I just want to make time to go get myself a massage. However, through word of mouth, through connection, through meeting people, you know, things of that nature, then you find people that you vibe with. You find people that there's a connection, you can feel that safe space with, etc. Because like you said, the physical touch of it is not sexual, but essential. And there's still a level of intimacy. And like you say, even that there's certain parts you might be working on, and with just this, there's tightness, intensity, and understanding chakras and understanding our body. Certain body parts hold on to stress and tension differently than other body parts. So you may go in like, oh, my shoulder, you know, my neck, and that could be due to something that you're processing, some kind of stress or a big decision, or carrying in your lower back.
Oh God, yes.
Right? So you're really good with honing in on things like that. Like you're really good with your canvases, and just from my personal experience, like you're really able to hone in on those things and just kind of, you know what I mean, provoke thought, or like you said, through the breathing and stuff, to make it a safe space to really be able to release and to let those things go. And I'm really, really grateful for that. I guess two things I wanted to ask from the side of the actual healer and connector. What are some of the things that you do when accepting a canvas, because you know that you guys are going to be in an intimate space and you're going to be working on them? So what are some of the things that you look at for accepting new canvases? And then also on the On the other side, for someone that says, I want to get into self-care, I'm looking for someone, I don't know if I just want to, go to a stranger based off of a Yelp review, what would you suggest to them, some of the qualities that maybe they should look for or do when it comes to finding the right energy worker or, body healer?
Okay. For me, when I take on new campuses, I like to talk to them. I like to find out where their head is at, not so much as their ailments, because that'll come, but I want to actually feel their energy. I want
Okay.
to know what their intentions are. I want to know what type of sessions they want to have, and what are their expectations coming out of that session. And that comes through conversation. I've been known to be very comfortable to talk to. And I've had total strangers come up to me and just we'll be talking for like an hour or two. So I'm very known for that comfortability and openness. I've kind of always been like that. I want to know who I'm talking to and who I'm bringing into my home, since I work from home. It's totally different from an establishment. You don't have time to screen, but because I work from home and I consider my home my sanctuary and my temple, and the time and the energy that I share is very important to me, and I value it. I have to really sit down and ask a lot of questions. Sometimes I'll sit down and be like, I'll talk to you like you an old friend. Like, hey, where you from? Like, how long you been in the island? Oh, really? What's going on with that issue? I know that you're saying you have some lower back issues. You do a lot of sitting. I find out what is their background, what type of work they do, maybe some exercise or past injury. I just have a conversation with them, because some of my camps come, they really don't understand massage. Like, they've
Yeah.
had numerous ones, but they've come to me and said, you know what? Nobody has ever asked me that question. Like, nobody, what I've heard time and time again, which I think makes me stand out, is that I actually sit down and I talk to each and every one of my campuses, because I want to find out who I'm talking to, your background. Is there any type of connection that can be had, or is anything developing from that conversation? Because if I don't feel right about that connection, I'm not going to see. Like, there's been times that I've talked to people and I've booked them, and my gut told me like, girl, you might not want to mess with that, and I've canceled as soon as I booked, or with them, without them understanding energy, or even me having propositions of like sexual innuendos or whatever. Like, that's not what I do. Like, how do you handle that as well? And it's like, because there's some creepers out there. But I definitely don't be laughing, girl, it's true. But I definitely talk to anybody that's recommended to me, that's referred to me, even with the new ones, to find out what they really want, their understanding sometimes of massage, of self-care, what self-care practices or rituals they undergo. If they're coming from like a holistic standpoint, or they're just coming from like the leisure aspect, or like certain ailments. So there's different levels to massage.
Right.
Someone who has, say, don't get massaged a lot, or they want to kind of explore on a deeper level of self-care, I would say ask those questions of your massage therapist. Talk to them like they're your friend. So talk to them like they're coming to a job interview. Just like you do, like sometimes like what I do, like my friends or anybody, a person on a personal level or professional, I get all up in their business. I don't care. I'm not really a core person, because it's like I value my space and my time, and I value my person. I value my mental health, and I value my gift. And it's like I want people to come to me who I deem as worthy. I don't want my energy wasted. I don't want to pick up nothing, because then I'm gonna have to heal myself, and then that means I'm not gonna be good for the next person. So I would just tell people, hey, when you're seeking out people like for self-care, massages, like, talk to your massage therapist. Don't be afraid to, because ultimately you're having an unknown person, an unknown entity touch you. Like, if you have any like underlying issues, like I've had clients come to me that's been like sexually abused, molested. I've had clients come to me with body positivity issues, self-love, self-awareness. That is things that me for me as a healer, as a therapist, body worker, that I need to know, because maybe you haven't had a massage in a while, and it's like you're trying to reacclimate yourself, and since then you've underwent some trauma, but before you came to me to explore touch, you had this, the other therapy, the mental aspect of it. Like those are things that you want to share with your therapist, and your therapist, needs to dig deeper and ask sometimes those tough questions. But in my experience, they appreciate that. They appreciate the fact that I treat them as an individual, and I don't generalize them. That's why I don't use clients, because clients is like a medical term. You're making somebody feel like so generalized. So I call them canvases. And me coming from an art background, canvases canvases. It's like a conversation piece. And it just sparks, like you said, thought. Like, oh, a canvas, it makes you feel special. Oh, I'm a canvas. Like, oh, I wonder what's going to happen in that session, what kind of session I'm going to get. And it's like, a canvas, you come to me as a blank canvas, and I'm going to come to you. I'm going to work on you. I'm going to be a pathway to your journey of healing, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and not just with touch. And I'm going to be manipulating muscles and soft tissues, and I'm going to be moving a lot of stuff around. Well, sometimes I don't know what's going to happen, but ultimately, at the end of that session or during that session, look, you might be letting out a growl. You might be letting, like, look, I'm so sorry. I did not mean to growl at you. And I'll be like, that's okay. I've had people cry, be emotional. I've had people just feel angry. That's all a part of creating that masterpiece. So ultimately, I want you to leave feeling like a rejuvenated piece of art, not just a piece of work, awesome. but a masterpiece. You come to me, it's like a blank. You can do whatever you want with a blank canvas. I can turn you into awesome. Whatever, and I can bring all that. I can bring all that artistic ability out of you.
Yeah,
like, damn, girl, I did not know. Like, look, I did not know that all of that emotion was inside of me. Like, girl, I did not even know that my back was hurting, but you hit a spot in my shoulder and you did something, girl, that you just went up under. Girl, I did not know that you did something in my foot, and I felt it all the way up my leg, and it just came up out of nowhere. It's like, that's the beauty of it. That's the artfulness of it. Body work is an art. You really have to tap into people's bodies and what they need. Even if they don't tell you, you have to be very intuitive. I do an intuitive style, integrated style. I don't use just one style. I use more than one style in addition to being intuitive. My intention, what is my intention when I work on you? What am I trying to do?
You're very intuitive. That is definitely something that I have been able to experience by working with you on those intimate levels, that you're very intuitive. And another thing is, like, when it comes to, like you said, a canvas, it literally is a masterpiece, a work of art. And I think one of the things that sometimes we forget when we think about massage, we think of it of more of a you know what I mean, just like a masseuse, or they can be relaxing and things as well. But part of that, LMT is therapist, and a therapist.
Exactly, keyword is therapy.
When you come on, like massage, and I think that in our mind we think of like, oh, I'm just gonna relax. They're gonna pour oils on me. It's gonna be, you know what I mean. And there's different types of massage, right? In which you go more athletic, more deep tissue, etc. However, that energy exchange, that body work, that healing, it is a therapy session. You literally walk out, or crawl out, or roll out, or lay out.
Crawl and roll. Because like I take away all that bad, that boxing, that bad energy. And I open you up to receive that good energy. That's ultimately what it's about. I want you to leave. When you come to me injured or broken or bust up, I want you to leave feeling like a whole new person. I want you to leave like, I am the jam. Can't nobody tell me otherwise. I am the shiznle. Like, I want you to feel that way. And I want you, like, of any trauma that you might not convey, I want you to be able to be comfortable with me. Let me help you release that, because I feel it. Whether you want to release it or not, it's coming about you. Because I'm gonna take it about you. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Like I've cried with my canvases. I felt pain. I felt anger. Like as soon as I touch people and I ground and I connect with them, I see some of their journey. A relationship and like after like so at the beginning you have your consultation. At the end, hey, I sit and I talk with the
Mm-hmm.
ones who want to talk, or like, Damon, I was feeling a certain way, and I explained, and it was like nobody has ever went that deep and told me a whole story just by touching me in
Yeah,
like
you
60
have
minutes
a
or 90
you.
minutes. Like I
There's
tell you
no
about yourself. I tell
there's
you about
no
yourself.
denying that you have a gift. Like you have a gift that is only God given, that's like supernatural, what you're able to see and tap into. And it's not too many people that have that. So thank you for
Yeah.
being a vessel. I do want to, begin to wrap things up because we can go on and there's
Girl,
so
we
many
got
things that we
look,
can
this is like
talk
a
about.
reunion, girl. I love it.
Right.
Yep.
So, I do want to ask this for those that are interested in potentially, becoming a chemist, or they're looking for, they're looking for more self-care or more
Mhm.
opportunities in order to just kind of release things and let things go, or begin to uproot things that maybe they've suppressed, etc. Where can they find you? Where can they have a consultation, a conversation, book with you? What are some of those you know uh, avenues, via social media, via text,
Mhm.
email? How would you like people to find you or to get in contact with you?
Oh gosh. They can call me 779-5288. I'm also on Facebook under Therapeutic Massage by Nichole, and that's Nichole. I spell my name with an H. You can DM me on Facebook. That's mostly where I'm at. What if I do get anybody that wants to reach out to me, or word of mouth, like some of the groups that I'm in. I'm a part of so many groups. Oh my goodness. I think me and you. I think Black Hawaii, I'm a part of, but I can't even think of all of them. But I am on Facebook, Therapeutic Massage by Nichole, or they can DM me, or referrals, word of mouth recommendations, or they can just contact me directly at my number, 779-5288. They can shoot me a text, they can call me. They can refer to this podcast. I know you've sent me some, or if they have a person that is referring them, give me their name so I can give them their credit as well.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, even like rates. Any groups that I am a part of, or anyone that I'm connected with, whatever that I start with, I'm willing to give a discount. Most of the people that I know in groups, and through word of mouth, I give them discounts um, for my sessions. So
Right. And the value is definitely there. So it's not even a
yeah,
discount. It's just an
yeah.
incentive for
It's just
you
an
to
incentive. Yeah,
self-love. It's
because
an
you
incentive
get, yeah,
for
because it's like
you to
what
take
I
on
give.
self-love. Because
Yeah,
the discount, it doesn't take away from the value. It definitely is a
yeah,
very,
yeah.
valuable experience.
Yeah,
So it's worth every penny
because
of it.
that's my way of showing appreciation.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I wouldn't say like yeah, discount sounds so like it's taken away. I would
Yeah.
say
No, it's an incentive
I
for
show yeah,
people
a sense of
to reach
appreciation.
out and want to
Yeah,
take, to want to
yeah,
take advantage of self-care and,
yeah,
exploring those things. So definitely.
yeah.
Okay, awesome, awesome. So, I do want to thank everyone for tuning in today. If you're listening, if you're watching, this, I'm super grateful that, without you all being in the audience, without listening to it, I wouldn't have a podcast,
I know,
so
right?
it's always great to catch up and, to talk to Nichole, but it's great that hopefully there was some, impactful gems that you guys were able to pick up. Always go back and listen to this or watch it again. I mean, we stayed
I know,
throughout
piece
dropping.
by piece, because I know I
Yeah,
can be very overwhelming because
we
I have
stayed
lots to share.
dropping
Yep,
some gems. So I know
I
there's
know.
several that you all can pick up from this. And she already shared with how you can get in contact with her. So if that's something you want to do, please do yourself some gratitude and show appreciation and reach out to her as well too.
Or get in touch
And
with you,
so
and they can get in touch with me.
yes, that too.
Yeah,
That too.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Referrals is always good. And
Absolutely.
in order to keep it on a high vibrational note, um, you know, um, I want you to be able to, drop an impactful gem for those that is tuning in today, that's listening, that's
Mm.
watching. Something to leave us with. Go ahead, Nichole. The floor is yours. Drop that gem.
Uh, be you, Della Just. Don't stop being who you are. Do whatever you want. The world is yours. Whatever you want to do it. Don't always believe what you think. like forward, and whenever you open, whenever you're ready, you decide and you elevate yourself. But don't stop being who you are and being your authentic self for anyone, because you're hurting yourself, and you're hurting the amazing people that the universe is going to place before you. You're blocking your blessings. Don't do that. Be you. Everybody else will adjust to you.
Yes, be you. Take your
Yep.
stand in a
Not do
world
you,
where
but
will
be you.
adjust. Be you.
Yep.
Yes,
Be
it's about
you.
the
They'll
beingness.
adjust.
Yes, for sure. So as we
Yep.
wrap this up, remember to be you, and to embrace your greatness now, because the greatness is
Yep.
already inside of you. So embrace your greatness now. And I'll catch you all on the next episode. Thank you and aloha.
Alrighty. Aloha.